You'll have to forgive me if I'm a trifle emotional tonight. You see, I'm celebrating a real milestone in my life. Yep, 2016 marks 50 years since I graduated as a practicing vet, and I've been talking to the animals ever since. And this is the alma mater. This is where it all began, Sydney University. So I'm taking a little trip down memory lane. Hey, today my old uni is a hive of activity for Orientation Week. And wow, what a welcome! It was never like this 50 years ago. Undergraduates ready to conquer the world, and among them, a future vet. Tell me, what's good about veterinary science? What do you like about it?
Everything. It's kind of learning about how animals behave and how they think and all their genetics and all the sciencey stuff.
But today, it's all about the selfie stuff.
What kind of
And never too late to try out for the old college team. Why does it look so easy when you buggers do it? So how long do you think I'll have to practice to get into the uni team?
I reckon you got a couple of months at least, but trials aren't till halfway through the year, so if you keep coming down to the courts and keep training with us.
Don't I wish I could do that once again? A bit like stepping back in time to Hogwarts. We used to have dinners and sit exams here. Fantastic. This is Hallowed Turf, welcoming in the next generation of students, including, hang on, a four-legged one.
Well, Brooklyn was a patient at our Sydney Uni Vet Hospital.
Yeah.
And she's with us today to film for O Week. So she's going to be experiencing life as a first-time student and roaming around campus and checking out what's happening for O Week.
Well, I reckon that's a sure sign I'm heading in the right direction for the vet school. The osteology theatre, in other words, the bone room. But you know, it hasn't changed a bit. But years after old fossils like me went through here, a new breed of future vets like Jordan and Liesl are studying the same skeletons.
So I can do about 50%.
And I was always fascinated by the display over here, right? I did a lot of work with horses when I first graduated, and I thought these displays of the various horseshoes were absolutely amazing, and I used to spend a lot of time looking at those and studying those. This all started me on my journey. So what are the dreams and aspirations of these future young vets?
I want to focus on exotic animal medicine and ultimately be a zoo vet. I like the appeal of not knowing what today's patient is going to be.
Have a listen down inside. I've truly been lucky to work with all creatures, great and small. Went for the glass, couldn't we? Open that up. Look at that. And it seems today many young vets are being inspired to also take a walk on the wild side.
I really like wildlife as well, so I want to work overseas, possibly in Africa or South America with not-for-profits and things like that. I think we have a responsibility for those animals.
I think you're so right.
Yeah.
Good on you. You haven't stopped smiling and you haven't stopped smiling. So I guess they're both keen to be vets. Well, this lecture hall, it brings back loads of memories too. Wow, 50 years ago, the stairs didn't seem to be quite so steep. We had a lot of lectures here, and mind you, I probably slept through quite a few of them as well. Just wanted to nod off, if you know what I mean.
Yes, it's easy remembering you.
Now don't go anywhere, because a little later on, we get an exclusive look of what vet students get up to at the state-of-the-art animal hospital. So I'm having an amazing welcome back at my old alma mater, Sydney University. Hard to believe it's been half a century since I graduated from this place. I've checked out the vet school I've done a little reminiscing.
Yes, it's easy.
And I used to spend a lot of time looking at those and studying those. And now I'm heading to the faculty's state-of-the-art animal hospital, where you literally step right into a brand new age, full of the latest whiz-bang technology, ultrasounds, MRIs, CT scans, and lots of attentive students. Lockie's in his final year at vet school.
So this little one, Misha, got into some ibuprofen. So pretty common toxicity that we see.
Was it a capsule or a tablet that you swallowed? No?
It was a tablet.
So that's a massive overdose for a dog of this size, isn't it?
Yep. Her gastrointestinal tract, so her intestines and everything were the biggest issue for her.
So this is a little IV drip you've got plugged in here. Hello, darling. How are you? Going to say hello to Dr. Harry? You're a cutie, aren't you? Hey? You're a cutie.
So she's a bit black around the muzzle because we've given her some charcoal.
To try and absorb it?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, and we put her on some fluids as well. We're just trying to flush the system, basically.
Yep. How long is she going to stay in hospital?
She's going home today.
Is she?
Which is great. Yeah, so she's doing really well and we're really happy.
Great result. So why did Lockie get into this caper in the first place?
You know, you take an animal that might look really flat and be painful and the owner's really upset and you can present something like this at the end.
Yeah.
And it's just really nice, you know, and so it just makes you feel good at the end of the day.
Of course, over 50 years, we've seen some dramatic advancements in veterinary medicine. Vaccines, antibiotics, but one thing that hasn't changed is the all-important human-animal bond. You see, that's the key to being a successful vet. And today, the women veterinary students outnumber the men. There's a lot more girls doing veterinary science today than there ever was when I started. What prompted you to do veterinary science?
I've always wanted to do it since I was a child. That's all I wanted to do.
OK. What about you, Brianna?
Probably watching Harry's practice.
G'day, I'm Dr. Harry Cooper and I'm a vet. This is my mate Rosie. She's a border collie and she loves to come with me when I'm doing my rounds.
My old friend and colleague, Dr. Max Zuber, heads up the animal hospital. And he says, despite all the advances, basic vet skills are still the key.
Here is the home, if you like, of the whiz-bang technology, but I think you've got to start at that basic ground level that we started at and build on it before you know which of these things to use.
You've had 48 years. I've had 50. Any regrets?
No.
Me neither.
This afternoon, we're going to continue with disorders of growth.
I've got one more stop to make.
But before we get on to that, we've got a special guest who's a graduate of this place, who's been a vet for 50 years.
What are you all laughing at? Look at this. The vet class of 2018. In 50 years, you have changed a lot. You weren't even here 50 years ago. Nice to meet you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here. And as for some reflections on my journey, for me, it has been the most fantastic ride. Not because I've been in television, but because I've been a vet. Your knowledge will be far greater than mine. But if I had one piece of advice, use all your senses. I think that's important, because when you're in the middle of that 5-acre paddock and you can't find a 3-pin plug, or you're on the plains of Africa doing wildlife, remember, you've got to have those powers of observation. That's basic clinical skills. And most importantly of all, if you're going to succeed as a vet, you have to have it here as well as there. Go for the goal. Can't leave without a class photo, because these are all up-and-coming vets. Well done, guys. And girls. Isn't it, guys? Oh, what a ripper.
That's me. It's time for ash coursing.
How are we doing here in Queensland, Dr. Harry?
Oh, we got the camera right on.